What if I told you there is one method for getting the girl that makes every tactic, every line, every dating hack completely unnecessary? What if I told you that the men who struggle the most with dating are usually doing too much, and the men who seem to attract women effortlessly, they're doing almost nothing at all, at least on the surface? And what if I told you the reason has nothing to do with looks, money, or game, but everything to do with how your inner operating system is wired? Because here's the uncomfortable truth: women don't fall for men who want them. They fall for men who are already standing somewhere solid and invite them in. Today, I'm going to give you the framework that explains exactly why that works, how to build it, and why it changes your entire life, not just your dating life. I call it the ACR Trinity. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. So, what is the problem with most modern dating advice? Well, most dating advice is obsessed with surface behaviors. Surface. What to say, what to text, how long to wait, how to appear high value. But here's the issue: those tactics only work if the internal structure is already there, my guys. Otherwise, you're just performing confidence without actually possessing it. That's why so many men feel like they can get attention, but they can't keep it. They feel on during dates, but empty afterward. Or worse, they get attached way faster than they want to. That is a real problem, my guys. That's not a strategy problem, though, right? That is a structural problem. Structural. So instead of teaching men how to act attractive, Plant the Spark focuses on how to become someone attraction organizes around naturally. That's where the ACR Trinity comes in, my guys, and it is here for you. So, what is the ACR Trinity, right? What's the actual framework? Well, ACR stands for A, right? Autonomy. We've talked about this a lot on the show, right? It's one of the core principles here. C, competence, right? And then R, relatability. And relatability has a lot to do with, how you relate with others, but also like emotional control, these types of things, right? How well regulated you are. This is not a personality theory. This is not a personality theory. This is a psychological infrastructure. When all three things, the A, the C, and the R, are all strong and balanced, attraction feels effortless. When one is weak, even one, women can feel it, often before they can even articulate why. So let's go ahead and break down each one of these things, right? The A, the C, and the R: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Now, the A, autonomy. Autonomy is really just self-governance. That's what it is. I mean, it's not independence, it's not detachment, it's not I don't need anyone, right? Autonomy is it's this: I endorse my own actions internally. An autonomous man doesn't look to a woman to regulate his emotions, his confidence, or his direction. He doesn't look to anyone to do that but himself. What does it look like in dating? Well, look, you don't ask, is this okay with your energy, right? You lead plans. You lead plans instead of outsourcing decisions, right? Come on, man. What do you want tonight? Now, try this. We're going to this little Mexican place down the road. It's beautiful, 7 o'clock. You don't collapse when she pulls back slightly. I mean, come on, man. Hold your frame, hold your ground, have some dignity. That's what autonomy is, right? You don't over explain your boundaries. You state them and then you carry them out. That's it. Now, here's a script example that you can use, right, to show autonomy. So instead of something like, I said earlier, what do you want to do? You say, I'm choosing between this cute little jazz bar or this rooftop spot. Which one fits your vibe more? Right? This works psychologically because you're setting the frame, right? You are setting the frame, this or that, but you're also allowing choice, this or that within structure. You've laid out the two choices. You signal calm leadership, direction, the ability to plan, but also to include, right? This is a joint venture you're going on. It signals calm without control. And to women, autonomy feels like emotional gravity, right? It's not needy, it's not aloof, right? It's grounded. And as we know, or as we've talked about a lot here on Plant the Spark, grounded men feel safe. And safety, that's one of the most important things that you can show a woman because of hypergamy. All right. So what is the C? Competence, right? What is competence? What actually is competence in relationship to the ACR and to dating and quite frankly your life? All right. So competence is execution under reality, right? This is where attraction actually becomes sustainable. A man, can be confident for an hour, right? But competence shows up when plans change, right? Conflict arises, stress enters the room. What happens then, right? Competence is not, a flash in the pan, right? So what is it? It's reliability, right? It's not reliability once, it's not reliability twice, it's always being reliable, right? You can set a schedule by your reliability. It's follow through. If you say you're going to do something, then you do it. I'm going to fix the sink on Sunday. Then on Sunday, you are fixing the sink, and I don't care what game is on. You perform calm problem solving, right? I don't know. Maybe it's Christmas Eve, and you're putting together some type of toy for your kid, right? And you're flying off the handle. That is not sexy. That is not competence. Emotional regulation, right? Be able to regulate those emotions when you're about to flip out because that screwdriver just doesn't fit. Look, here's an example. She says something like, I'm really stressed about work, right? A low competence response would be like over fixing, panicking, right? Emotionally dumping back. Oh, my day was worse, right? A high competence response, that sounds really heavy. Do you want support, perspective, or distraction right now? I can give you any equally, baby. This signals emotional literacy, right? You're showing her that you understand, you're willing to do whatever she needs, right? Not just fix, but listen as well. Shows self regulation. You're not jumping in, you're not panicking, you're not trying to fix immediately. You're asking her for her direction, right? Leadership under pressure. She needs you, how you then perform that leadership, right? Really important because women just don't want chemistry. They want a man who can handle life without falling apart. And competence is what turns attraction into trust. It's a foundation for any strong relationship, my guys. Now, what about relatability? Relatability is, essentially it's just emotional safety, right? This is where many of the alpha archetypes they fail completely. Relatability does not mean trauma dumping, right? It doesn't mean that you're sharing everything on the first date. And it also means you're not oversharing, right? Keep some mystery, man. Don't give her your entire life story on date number 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't just mean being soft or agreeable, right? That's where the manosphere kind of thinks, and that's why they have issues. But what it does mean is it means you can sit with an emotion without needing to escape, right? You don't need to go into stonewalling, the silent treatment because your little feelings are hurt, right? You listen to her without hijacking the moment. It's not all about you. You can hear her pain without needing to one up her, right? Your presence lowers her nervous system response, my dudes. Get her calm, right? That parasympathetic nervous system firing up, not the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system. A script example, and she says something like, I feel like you're busy lately, right? An unregulated response would be like, I'm doing everything I can. Why is this a problem? A relatable response? I can see how that might feel distant. That was not my intention, right? You validate the experience without surrendering your autonomy, right? That is where ethical masculinity lives, right? A strong spine and an open heart. Strong spine, open heart. Strength with a little bit of softness. So, why is the ACR so damn attractive to women? I mean, this part should be pretty easy, but most men miss this. I mean, it's like you guys are being educated by the Looney Tunes or something. I mean, look, women aren't attracted to the ACR because it's impressive, right? They're attracted to it because it reduces stress. An ACR man doesn't create emotional chaos. They don't require constant emotional management. I mean, they don't want to be your mom, guys. Look, the ACR man doesn't outsource responsibility. They they take responsibility, right? Because they're strong. And to an eminently feminine woman, this is gold because femininity thrives when she doesn't have to parent you guys. Nobody wants to be a parent in the relationship. And if they do, they're in it for the wrong reasons. She doesn't have to constantly stabilize with you. I mean, you are the stability. She doesn't have to lead you emotionally, right? You are mature emotionally, right? You are regulated. You can keep your cool. ACR men allow women to relax into their polarity. That's why this framework doesn't just improve dating, it improves your life trajectory. It improves your relationships, not just with your woman or your man, with all of the people in your life. Groundedness is sexy, it's attractive, it's calming, it's safe. Now, one of my clients actually recently said something that stopped me cold, right? And this is a little off script, but he said something like, "This completely changed my life," right? He bought the Advanced ACR book. And he said, "I'm not even thinking about dating or getting the girl anymore," right? I mean, he said, "Somehow my dating life is actually getting better." Right. And then he goes on to tell me that he's dating this woman that he would call an eight, right? And they'd been on like, I don't know, 3, 4 dates, right? And he was like, the practices are just kind of becoming natural. And this, to be fair, this guy's been working on this for a couple months with me now, but he basically just said that he feels calm, right? He feels like he's more confident just because he feels like the ACR is working in him now. It's a part of his life. The autonomy is no longer outcome dependent, right? His competence is reducing his anxiety. So he just is sort of more relaxed around women. He's not feeling so forced. His relatability actually feels unforced. And as a result, he's getting more attraction, right? He's out with what he calls an eight. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I first met the guy, he was having trouble getting what he considered fives. Now, I don't even know what these numbers mean, right? We all have different sort of subjective rating scales, but I'm just talking about what he was saying. The bottom line is, we'll call him Mark. Mark, w- when attraction becomes a byproduct, right, and not a pursuit, right, that's when everything is golden for you, man. And yeah, he's not where he wants to be. Mark is not exactly in the spot that he want, but that's the point, right? He's building something durable. He's not chasing validation. And again, I get it, guys, right? A lot of us, we're impatient. We want this stuff to happen fast. Maybe we're getting a little bit older. Maybe the woman of our dreams is right in front of us, and we want to make sure that we don't miss this opportunity. But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot more important to build an internal strength, right? Build something that is lasting. Guys, I want to give you a scaled down practical version of what I'm going to give you in my advanced ACR manual. All right, this week for the A, I want you to lead one plan without asking permission. You just lead one thing, you and your lady or someone else, right, without asking any permission. Do one thing. This is the C, competence. Do one thing you said you would, even when you don't feel like it, right? Say you're going to do something and then you go do it. It's practicing those skills, right? The R, I want you to listen to someone once without interrupting at all or trying to fix it. That's it. You just listen. These are three actions, these are three pillars. The momentum starts there. Now, in my book, I've got tons and tons of examples on how to build this stuff. So I think you guys are really going to like this manual. It'll be out late January. So if this framework clicked for you, right, these full ACR Trinity manuals, right, they're going to break all of this stuff down into the scripts, the diagnostics, the live dating applications. Come on now. Ethically masculine structure you can actually live inside, right? An ethically masculine structure that you can live inside. Because this isn't about tricks here at Plant the Spark. We are building full life change. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need other people. You don't need them. You don't need women. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting through alignment, come to Plant the Spark today, and I'll see you in the work. Later.